Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Tuplex and today we're going to be starting a brand new series. I'm going to be using vanilla recipes for this series. I am using a pretty good selection of mods. The main ones being RSO. I'm using the default RSO parameters to generate the map. I'm using Logistic Train Network. I'm using SpaceX for the end game. And then quite a few quality of life mods. Actually, maybe we can take a quick look at the mod list, or at least at the mod settings. This will point out the more important ones. Bulk rail loader, bottleneck, hell mod. I'm doing long reach research, nanobots, picker extended, resource labels, YARM, LTN, Nixie tubes, RSO. Oh, I'm going to use mini loaders in this game. And the plan here for this playthrough would be to, to go through the SpaceX end game where we build a large rocket that will hopefully get us off the planet. I'm also using even distribution and autofill. This is our starting map. I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. This is actually the first one I generated. I've got a big bunch of water here. I've got 1.7 million copper, 2.3 million iron, 415 stone, and 758 coal. And a little bit of oil, not a lot of oil. But you can see that that's all that we have here. Biters are turned off because I did not want to deal with biters in this playthrough. Oh, I need some stone. So I turned off biters, and because biters are disabled, I also turned off pollution, evolution, and biter expansion in the options, since those won't do anything with no biters present on the map. In my last couple of series, I started the series with biters turned on, and then at some point in the game I just got so weary of dealing with them that I disabled the biters. And I've done that in at least the last two series so far. So I think I've kind of gotten to the point with the game that I just don't really want to deal with biters anymore. So I'm just going to start this one with no biters at all, so we can focus on building the base. Okay, so I put down these miners facing each other so that they feed one another, but it didn't work because they were loaded with wood and they can't put coal on top of wood. So I have to take the wood out so that the coal can feed in there. All right, so to start with, I think I'm going to go for, something like 8 machines or so, making iron plates, perhaps more. Again, since pollution is not something that we have to worry about when there's no biters around, I don't mind using lots of burner inserters and burner mining drills and so forth. Need a few more plates. There we go. And I'm going to craft a wooden box. And we'll use that to start collecting stone. So I'll just load that up with a bunch of wood. And that way we'll be able to crank out the burner drills more quickly and get up and running here. My thinking for the starter base is that I will build it to make 90 science packs a minute. Why 90 instead of 100, let's say? Well, 90 is just a nice round number. What I've usually done is made my bases to make 45 per minute at the beginning. So basically when I do the design of my factory, I try to make like 1 science pack per second according to the numbers in the game. But then because I use the Assembler 2 machines, they have a crafting speed of 0.75. So you actually don't get 1 a second, you get 45 a minute, or 0.75 per second. So this time around, I think I'm going to try to double that. And then for the endgame base, I think I'm going to go for something capable of supporting around 2,000 science a minute. At that rate, I'm not sure how quickly or how slowly we'll go through the science for SpaceX. But it'll be interesting to try it. Alright, I think I'm going to make another wood box to store my wood inside. Actually, I'll make 10 more, and then I'll put the rest of the wood in the chest. That way I'll put coal in these machines. Whoops. Alright, let me take half of that coal. Actually, I'm going to take all the coal and control and drag to use the even distribution. There we go. Okay, there's 1 more. 2 more. I'm going to go put these up on the coal. So it's been quite a while since I've done a vanilla playthrough. I'm kind of looking forward to it. My last series, I was doing Angel's mods and Bob's mods. It was pretty interesting. I was really looking for something a little more difficult than a vanilla base, since I'd already done several of those of various sizes. But eventually it just, it started to drag for me. I couldn't really continue with it. I kind of lost my enthusiasm for it. And, you know, since I don't do this as a full-time job, I didn't really want to spend my gaming time doing something that I wasn't having fun with, so decided to end that series and start a new one. Okay. Get more stone. I'm going to craft those. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, I'll put the other 4. Let's see. How do I want to set this up? I think I'll set those up like that. And we'll go grab more coal. So I want to try to get to trains fairly quickly, so that I can start building up a train network fairly early on in the game. Okay, so we're making a pretty decent amount of iron now. 4. Make 4 of those. Gonna need more stone. We'll start getting some copper going. And I'll just line that up here. And back for more coal. So this is going to be my 10th Factorio series. It's hard even for me to believe that I've done so many. And at this point, I think this will probably be the last one, unless some significant changes or updates to the game are forthcoming, because you know, like I said, I've done this a few times already. Played with various sets of mods, and I'm kind of running out of original content to show you guys. So like I said, until something significantly new comes out, I'll probably give it a rest after this one, and then you know, either just go on hiatus from YouTube, or maybe do a series with a different game. Alright, so I'm going to get some power. Actually, let me grab some of that wood so I can start making power poles as well. I don't want that much. Alright. Alright, so we'll start with 1 boiler and 2 steam engines. Alright, so in this game, I think I'm going to want my bus to run south to north. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my smelting lines here, all pointing north, and then we'll bring up the ores from down here, of course. And then when these are mined out, I'll replace these patches with train stations to bring in ore from mining outposts. Okay, so if we do that, then I think I'll want to put my power up here. Oh, and I'm going to need at least 1 underground pipe. Alright, so I'll put the first one here. I'll do an underground pipe, max distance. There we go. Make sure I'm still doing this right. Let's see, 3.6 megawatts, 900. Yeah, 50% efficiency. All right, so let's go get some more coal again. And I'm gonna add 4 more of these guys. There we go. Yeah, so let's look at the tech tree. We can see some of the SpaceX stuff. So faster than light theory A is one of the researches that we have to do that takes 250,000 red science packs. So that'll make the end game interesting. And yeah, there we go. I'm using Bob's adjustable inserters mod. So we'll be able to do near inserters, long inserters, and adjustable inserters. That allows you to configure the inserters to work at angles other than 180 degrees. Gives a lot more flexibility in the layout. Okay, so I think I normally put the power pole right there. And I think the plan here to begin with is to make a lab so that we can start doing a little bit of science. So I'll make a lab, and I'm going to handcraft 10 science packs, which will get me automation. Now, where do I want to put this stuff? let's see. I'm going to start building most of my stuff up here. So, yeah, I mean, I can put the beginning stuff right here, I suppose. Okay, awesome. I'm going to make a burner inserter, and I'll put a couple more stacks of coal in there so that we don't have to come and feed it quite as often. And while we're waiting for the rest of those science packs, I'll feed my mining drills down here. Yep, because some of them are running out. Let's see, so I'm going to do control right click. That should only do half. There we go. And then control left click. Alright, and I will feed you some wood. We'll grab that stone. Okay. And we'll load the rest of those. Place our inserter. There we go. It uses electric poles as fuel. I'm going to have to see if... Yeah, you know, I think there's a way that you can configure what items autofill will use. Or, you know what, maybe I'll just disable autofill. Since I'm not using turrets or anything, that's really what the main use of it is for. At least for me, that's where I got the most benefit from it. I don't know if I necessarily need it. Yeah, I think I'm going to disable autofill. It'll probably make my life easier overall. Okay, so automation is done. And this is going automatically because I have auto research turned on. I'm going to disable, though, the auto research because I want to be able to select it myself, at least for now. Yeah, I think I'm going to want to do logistics next. All right, but first let's make a factory, 2 factories, and I'll make a couple bunches of inserters. All right, so that one is going to make the red science packs, which take copper plates and gear wheels. How do I want to do this? Yeah, that's how we want it. That way we can feed both of these from the same chest. All right, so this will make gear wheels, which take 2 iron plates. So we'll feed that from there. We'll feed this from there. We need another pole. And then we need another inserter to put the gears in there. And then that can feed that. And then we need to put the plates in at a ratio of 2 iron to 1 copper. And actually, for some of this early research, we can run 2 labs with one of these. So I'm going to add another lab, and we'll just be able to get research done more quickly. Okay. And I think I don't need that pole there. All right, and then I would like to make a radar, but for that I need more copper. And I want to make the radar just so we can start scanning for more resource patches. These resource patches are fairly big. When I set the starting options for the game, I did... How did I set them up? I did very large and very rich for everything except stone and uranium, I think, which are normal and very rich. Normal size, but very rich. And I'm pretty happy with the size of these. If all the patches in the game are about this size, I think that's just about right. I think I might... Okay, so we just have to let that go for now. But I was going to say, I think I might try, in this playthrough, I might try doing on-site smelting, meaning that rather than having a mining outpost that loads the ore onto trains and takes it to a smelting area, I think I might this time try just doing the smelting at the ore patches and then just loading the plates on the train. That ought to reduce the amount of traffic we have on the train network pretty significantly, I think. Because in my other bases, I would say that the majority of the traffic was from ore. Well, it was either taking ore to be smelted or taking plates where they're needed. So if we cut out the ore trains, then that'll reduce that traffic by about half. All right. So we'll throw in the radar. That'll give us visibility from map view and also start scanning the surrounding areas. I think I might, because I'm using RSO and my resource patches are going to be spread out fairly widely, I think I might look for a mod that will give us higher tiers of radar that can scan faster or over wider areas. In Bob's mods, there's like a Mark II and a Mark III radar, and they cover larger areas. I think they scan the whole area in the same amount of time, so it scans the chunks more quickly, but it has more of them to scan. And the cost of that is that they use more energy, which for me is fine. Okay, so logistics is done. I think we can do nanobots. Let's get that started. All right, and I'm going to craft a few assembly machines. I'll craft another handful of inserters. And I would like to start making some green circuits. Alright, and copper cable. Actually, I think I'll make myself a blue inserter for the copper cable. Let's see here. I think we can economize on these power poles. Not that we really need to. They're cheap. No, I guess we can't. Okay, and then I'll need another one for the output. Alright, so this is going to take 3 copper cables. So 1.5 copper plate per iron plate. So that's not quite the right ratio, but fairly close. And we're doing okay there. That'll still last us for a while. Let's check on our power. We're still doing fine. And then once we have nanobots, I'll try to automate some production of nanobots. And I think it might have been smarter to put that stuff down here where the plates are being made. That would save me some walking around. I probably should have done that instead. Well, it's never too late. We're going to need power down there for mining anyway, so... Okay, so let's set this up down there. I'll leave the radar where it is. And actually, I'll just take a blueprint of that. That way it'll be easy to duplicate. Or at least we won't have to think about it too much. Alright, let's clean up some of this mess. There we go. And we'll just relocate that down here where it'll be closer to us so that we don't have to run around as much. Okay, and then we'll put that right there. Looks good. Okay, and then we do 2 iron for 1 copper. There we go. Remove that one. All right, and then let's set up. Let's set up our circuit production. Green circuit, copper cable. Okay, and then this one is 1.5 to 1, so we can do, I'll do 3 stacks of copper and 2 stacks of iron. That ought to be the right ratio. Okay, and then I should probably start crafting a mess of stone furnaces. And because I'm going to double the capacity of my normal starting base in this playthrough, I'm going to need a larger main bus than I've used in the past too. So I think I'll probably set it up with like 8 belts of coal, or 8 belts of iron, 8 belts of copper. Half of those belts will most likely go directly into green circuit production. Half of the copper belts, I mean. All right, put a little more there. We're still doing okay on power, but since I'm here with nothing else to do, I might as well just double this up. And I'm going to make a short pipe. So I separate these by 1 so that I have room to put power poles in between every 2. Like this, and then put a pipe there. Right, so the next set will attach directly to this, and then I'll have another single section of pipe, and the next power pole will go like that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to Add another one of these. And we'll put in a few stacks of coal there. There we go. And that should take care of us for quite a while. Okay, let's see how our radar's doing. Yeah, so we're making a little bit of progress with the scanning. It'll probably be a while before we find any more resource patches, since RSO spreads things out a bit, excuse me. So I'm just going to grab my coal again. I will get this stuff down here fed to keep producing the plates. I think I've probably got about enough iron plates in my inventory for now. Put a little more coal in here for the stone. And actually I think it would be a good idea to have another miner on the stone. Please don't burn my electric poles. There we go. Okay, so I think that'll do it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll set up a small factory to crank out nanobots automatically. We'll keep some research going, and then at that point, I think we'll probably be ready to start laying out our main bus, or laying out the smelting area, which will feed into the main bus. So we'll lay out smelting first, and then the main bus after that. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. See you next time. Bye-bye.